You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
I said, hey, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
It is time for Happy Hour. It is the Man Cave Happy Hour. Whiskey, cigars, spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
Yeah, I am Matt Fox.
And it's it's more of a man cave today.
It kind of is. We're all wearing pants though.
Yes. But we invited a lady into the man cave because it's a podcast for everyone.
Absolutely.
It really
is.
It is.
Which is why we're wearing pants.
Yes. So you notice the studio is a little different. We're standing up because a lady entered the room, so we stand up. That's how it works.
Yes, we're consummate gentlemen. We try to be.
That's what it is. Well, no, and we figured we're gonna mix some drinks, so we figured let's get on our feet and mix some drinks and let's have some fun and try to make this as awkward as humanly possible.
Do not ask me to do sit-ups or jumping jacks. And there's no exercising here, right?
I wanted to dance during the opening song. But the mics were on, so I couldn't say, let's dance. But,
so who do we have with us today?
Oh, Tara, one of our world's favoriteest bartenders, is with us. Tara, thank you for coming back and coming into the Man Cave this time. The last couple of times we had to do everything virtual, so so glad you are here to hang out with us. Getting over the pandemic. Some people are getting back to work. Are you getting back to work? Or you said you're homeschooling?
I am. That is currently my only job.
Okay,
just homeschooling.
Taking care of the little ones.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I teach high school, so I know the other side of the big virtual desk. It's quite the challenge.
Tara paid me a small compliment. I told her I had 3 daughters.
Oh,
they were older, 25, 22, and 19. She's like, I
Yeah,
never
I
would
wouldn't
have
have
guessed.
ever guessed that.
You survived. They survived.
I still haven't had a hair. We're good.
It's amazing. It's astounding. But it's Tuesday, Matt. What does that mean?
Tuesday means it's Monday. Because typically, since March, since we started doing this, Tara, Tuesdays at 5 o'clock was with Joe Louis Bourbon. This is our Tasting Tuesday. And this is kind of starts our week.
Right.
So
good way to start the week.
It's a great way to start the week. So we're very happy to have you here with us.
Well, thank you.
And it looks like we also have Michael Shore from Victory Spirits. Joe Louis Bourbon is joining us as well. So it's always good to see Mr. Michael.
Oh, I had him down. All right, there he is.
All right, I'm going to put these headphones on so we can at least hear him a little bit. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm great. I was just saying, it looks like you guys get quite the bar set up there.
We do. We have Tara back in studio here with us, and we brought her into the Man Cave. So we're happy to have her here. So I'm going to get a separate pair of headphones. I'm going to give Tara these so everyone can hear everybody.
All right, fair play.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's we hang out in the Man Cave on Tuesdays with Joe Louis Bourbon, and you played with Joe Louis once before.
I did,
and
right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah. We didn't. We sent her home with a janky plastic bottle.
That is very true.
My apologies. We've upped our game a little bit because as your parting gift, we'll actually have a nice glass bottle of Joe Louis Bourbon for you. So we're not sending you off with another water bottle.
That's right. It was a water bottle.
It was a water
with
bottle.
A pin taped to it.
It was.
It had a ManAve sticker on it, so that legitimized it.
Apparently.
And a pin, and I think the pin might actually be on my backpack behind you.
Right on. So it's Tasting Tuesday, Joe Louis Bourbon. We like to play with some Joe Louis, and we're like, you know what? Season's changing.
Yes.
We're heading into fall a little bit.
Little bit.
And we think we might want to try some fall cocktails, and you were kind enough to maybe want to do that up.
Yeah.
So now Joe Louis Bourbon, Michael, we've talked about the mash bill a lot of times, but just if somebody's picking it up fresh this time, because it's heavy on the corn. It's 66% corn, Michael?
66% non-GMO, locally sourced corn.
Correct.
And it's 14% rye.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 20% barley.
Wow.
So it's a little higher on the barley count than the average bear.
That's great. But the corn forward, it makes it very unique for my palate. Cause the 66% corn, just for my palate, it adds an added sweetness to it. So,
and the other aspect of it is that it's hand distilled in pot stills.
Correct.
And that means that the heads and tails are discarded in this case, and it's just the hearts. So you've got it removes some of the harshness. It also actually helps the bourbon taste a little bit more mature than it's 2 years in the barrel.
Right.
Little more rounded, a little bit more layered. What you might normally expect from a 3 to 4 year old.
So we found that it's not as spicy not as sweet as the nose is. The nose is very corny.
Yes.
Corny. It's a corny nose.
To me.
I always knew you were corny.
So I'm really curious to know what Tara has in her bag of tricks, because she actually walked in the studio carrying a bag, and we're like, wow, that's a
little time. She's had a little time to think about it.
Well, I mean, in my defense, one whole bag is tools and one is actually just more tools.
Okay, great.
So there wasn't as many tricks in there as you thought there might be.
Sure. No, so I'm really curious as to what you're going to be pulling out today here.
So I decided to go both more fall flavored, but one more spirit forward and one shaken.
Oh, nice.
So I have a coffee maple old fashioned, and then another one that's going to have a ginger honey with a little bit of chinar, which is an artichoke marrow.
Oh, wow.
And then the bourbon and some lemon juice.
That sounds
Tara, I have a question for Tara,
Yeah.
if I may.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really a question. It's really a question and a request for input.
Okay.
Our next release is going to be what we're calling Brown Bomber Bourbon, and it is a bourbon that has infused with maple syrup.
Okay.
And we are actually going and doing some tasting samplings and looking at some options. And one of our thoughts was to add a little coffee.
Yeah. Coffee and maple go great together.
That's why I'm very intrigued by your cocktail recipe, and we may need to have to get you offline and having some input into this as we do the tastings on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Because on your website,
the ice is here.
Yep, absolutely. Because Michael, on your website, you actually do have a page that's dedicated to specialty cocktails that are made with the Joe Louis bourbon, if I'm not mistaken. So if you go to the website, you can actually see what's there.
If Tara wants to allow us to have her recipe on there, we would love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Did I moon everybody?
Absolutely.
Fair play. All right. I forgot to get the ice.
Do it again.
I brought the ice, and then I forgot to out of ice. Anyway.
Thanks for joining us, Jamie.
Yeah. Hey, 5 o'clock comes and you got to roll.
Right.
It's 5 o'clock Tasting Tuesday. You're ready or not. You got to roll camera. So I missed. So I just as you go through them. So the first one up, you were gonna do
probably do the old fashioned first.
Ah, okay.
Start boozy. I always like to start boozy.
Yes, ma'am.
Works for me.
So do we want to start?
I've been rewatching Mad Men, so the old fashioned is featured prominently.
Yes.
In those early episodes. So,
I still have yet to see any of those.
Really? They're pretty misogynistic.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I've binge watched.
I don't know what episode number and what season it is, but the best episode of the making, where he actually makes a Manhattan very deliberately, the Don Draper character, Jonathan Hamm, and he makes it for somebody he doesn't know who it is, and it turns out to be Conrad Hilton. But it's the scene. It's the episode where Roger's daughter gets married, and they all Don leaves and goes behind the bar, and he's hanging out with this guy he doesn't know, and he's literally making it. It's almost like a recipe show where it's like, first we put the sugar cube, and then I put some bitters in, and then I do this, and I do that. So you'd love to see that. It's classic.
Fair enough. We
got to dig that episode up.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can find a clip of it too, probably.
Yeah.
So what is, in an old fashioned, what do you think the most important element is to get right and have the right one?
Oh, the measurements by far.
Okay.
The measurements. Because even a little too much syrup and it's way too sweet.
Okay.
So are we talking 36, 24, 36?
Yeah, nice.
Boom.
Nice. Impressive.
So much for keeping the misogyny on a low roar.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The bitters.
Behavior.
So I only have one bitters at home, and it's the orange one.
Okay.
And then I was in the store the other day, and I was like, oh, wait, there's a crap ton of different kind of bitters.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's good for the old fashioned? Is the orange one good for?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the name, I always say the name of these guys wrong.
Angostura.
These Angostura bitters. So Matt, you notice this, it's got the label, right? And it goes up and the label's too big for the bottle.
Is that on purpose?
You know, it's funny because I was like, yeah, why is that? You know, so I got to Googling. And do you know why?
No, I can't say I do.
Fair,
that might be one thing I've never Googled.
So, but because it's weird because all of their bottles, the labels, when they first launched their company, it was either someone ordered the wrong bottles or the wrong bottles came in or somebody screwed up the measurement, but the labels didn't fit the bottles and they were just getting started. They had to get to market. They couldn't take the hit of reordering one or the other. And so they just went for it. And it became their thing. That they have the floppy top on the label. It's a throwback to their start.
Decades ago?
Yeah, I don't know. So it's
like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So they just went for it, and so it's become a standard thing.
Yeah,
it's
learn something new every day.
For my uneducated mind, I would think when you pour the bitters, you get a little syrupy on the top of it, and it kind of rolls down the
Not really,
lip of it.
because there's a dasher on top. So you're just dashing it.
Yeah.
We were going to do that with the Joe Louis bourbon, and we made Joe this big, but it was just flopping all over the place.
Hey, did you guys?
Life-size Joe Louis on the bottom.
I was going to say, do you have Joe at any of the ballparks? Do you have a cutout Joe at any of the ballparks?
We will when they're open with fans.
Oh, okay, right on.
Right.
You're saying for now? No, we don't. We should do that.
Yeah.
We do have life-size Joe for arenas when the concessions open, but none of them are open.
Right. Yeah. Right. No. So it's like that's kind of interesting. If people are buying, the paper, talking about the oversized paper, the paper cutouts to sit in the stands. And one of my former students is, he had one. He was like, he goes, that was the best $150
I saw that picture.
I ever spent. He goes, it's paying off. Thank you, Fox Sports Detroit. Because his picture, he was standing. He was like, and he was behind the reporter, and he was like, dang it. But then the reporter
ducked,
like leaned, and that was visual on a podcast. So I don't know why I had to lean, but the reporter leaned over. You could totally see his cutout, and it's like he was like, he screen grabbed it, and he was all excited.
That's great.
It's just money well spent. He said, but it was $150. He said some of the more expensive seats could be like to $1,000. Wow. In one of the more prime locations.
I'm going to go back to 2 weeks ago when I said these words. Where would your cutout be? It would be in the nosebleeds where I can afford.
It's $5 nosebleed seat. Yeah, $5 nosebleed cutout. And it's more of just like, a brown paper lunch bag with a smiley face and a bad mustache taped to it. So, yeah, but the Lions, they said, they one more loss and then they'll start passing out the cut out paper bags to put over.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. So I got mine ready to go.
All right. So bitters, because it's supposed to be 2 dashes, 3 dashes.
So yes, typically 2 to 3 dashes. I, however, like things super bitter.
Oh.
So I do 6 or 8 dashes.
Wow.
And
okay.
for Joe Louis bourbon specifically, I would probably do between 4 to 6 because then since I'm adding a simple, which would be in an old fashioned, it will just cut a little bit of the sweetness so it's not too over sweet. Okay. Especially for people who don't like sweet cocktails.
But because when you do that, and because I'll be mixing at home and I'll go, okay, 1, 2, 3, and I'll be like, God, that just does not seem like enough.
Right. It doesn't. But if you make 2 side by side, like one without and one with, you'll be able to taste the difference.
It does. I haven't done that side by.
If you made an old fashioned the original way, you're not using simple syrup, right?
You're using a sugar cube. I prefer syrup just because using a sugar cube, no matter how many times you stir it or work with it, you're still getting a little bit of that sugar left on the bottom. And I personally don't like that.
I totally agree. But I'm going back to the fact that in the early, when the sugar cube was the sweetener, it required a lot of bitters because that was the liquid that was helping to dissolve.
would muddle
Right.
it,
So,
yeah.
Right.
so early old fashions always had, high bitter content.
Did you know the
Because
old
they needed
fashioned
the
was
liquid.
actually created at a strip club?
Ah!
I thought we were trying to keep that on a low roar.
I know.
Just bring on the misogyny. Well, how much of that story do you have? Is that it?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. It was created at a strip club, and then that same bartender left and went to Waldorf Astoria in New York, and there it became the old fashioned.
Wow.
Properly named.
Now,
All
that's
right.
quite
So-
a career trajectory.
Yeah.
Strip club,
To the Waldorf.
To
the Waldorf.
Waldorf, yes.
maybe
Probably more
parents
naked
proud.
bodies running around the
Waldorf.
Waldorf. But that's another story. So a lot of I found, and I've been doing it. And when Matt and I were mixing up summer cocktails, we ventured out on our own, and we are not mixologists. If you go back and look at
Well,
that episode,
I've never seen you guys make any cocktails that aren't just straight booze. I've only ever seen.
we were mixing it up. We did a New York sour,
Yeah.
the world's best New York
Oh.
sour.
Nice.
We even had the spoon
With a
and we were
float,
pouring the
we
wa-
floated the
wine
red
on
wine
top.
on it. Yeah, so we were
Nice.
doing it. But a lot of those summer recipes called for simple syrup or maple syrup, and so we were mixing with. I brought the maple syrup in because I thought that was interesting. But it's like sweet on sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it added a little bit of richness to those
Yeah.
when we were doing it. I thought that was kind of fun. So if you don't have simple syrup at home, get the Mrs. Butterworth going.
No. Maybe not Mrs. Butterworth, but there's actually a lot you can use. You could do honey.
Yeah.
Why am I
Simple.
chewing my drink? Why is that?
Yeah, there's quite a few things that you probably have in your pantry that you could use as sweetener.
Because I bought the simple syrup. You
Right.
make your own.
I do.
You process it down. I don't have that kind of time in my life.
I don't have that kind of time either. I was homeschooling and
That's
cooking
it,
today.
that's it. We appreciate you. We so appreciate you. I know because, like I said, I'm on the other side of that screen with you. But I bought this and I enjoy this. But a lot of times when I'm doing an old fashioned, I have some of the cane sugar, the brown sugar packets, and so
Okay.
I take a sugar packet and I just dump the one sugar packet. So it's always the same.
That sugar in the raw? Is that what
Yeah,
it's
the
called?
sugar
Okay.
in the raw.
All right.
So that's the one I do, and I throw that in there, and then the 3 dashes, and sometimes I go, it's not enough, and I'll do another one. Now I know that you do 8. I'm looking forward to trying that.
Yeah.
and then I might step up
I
my
love
bitters game.
bitters.
Okay, we're in.
I'm a big bitters.
All right.
Bitters fan.
Okay, so we keep on saying we're going to make this drink. Let's make this drink. All right, Tara, make that drink.
All right, so we are going to start with our bitters. Mine does not have a label.
No.
It came off. Sorry. That's all it's left. So bitters are right in the bottom of the glass.
Wow.
That was literally 7 shots, shakes of the
Oh,
bitters.
that tells you how used to it I am
Yeah.
because I wasn't counting at all. I just eyeball it. And then we'll do our bourbon. So I do usually the 7 dashes, and then I do 2 ounces of bourbon. Right in.
Oof.
And then
the color already.
and we're done. No, I'm just kidding.
The color on that already is just
Yeah.
it's
And
very
then this-
amber.
This
Looks
is a
amazing.
coffee maple syrup. So I just took a maple syrup that I bought right from Salvaggio's, and I actually took coffee beans. And I just let them sit for about an hour and simmer. And that's it. And then you get the maple sweetness from the maple, but you also get the coffee flavor in there. And I do a 1/4 ounce. If you like it sweeter, you can do more, but I do not like it sweeter. So
Right. Because you still want that
And this
boozy
is-
feel.
yeah, this
Right.
is kind of the one area you can really flavor up your old fashioned is in the syrup. And then
Tara,
ice.
What's the ratio of coffee beans to maple syrup that you put in there?
I eyeball it.
Right, so
I will jigger out every cocktail I make, but I definitely eyeball my syrups. I would say I did probably about a 1/4 cup of maple, and then I add a little bit of water because if you just let the maple simmer, it's almost going to harden. The sugars are really going to crystallize. So I add a little bit of water, and then I did probably about 2 to 3 tablespoons of coffee beans.
Okay.
So
So I'm
All right.
thinking you put a whole bunch of coffee
No,
beans in.
no.
Okay.
And
you don't ground them up either.
no,
You just do whole coffee
Yeah,
beans,
because I have
right?
to strain them out. So if you grind them up, it'll be a little bit
you strain it.
harder to strain out, not
Gotcha.
easier.
Right.
Okay.
All right, we got ice.
Yeah, because I'm a novice.
dun, dun,
I'd
dun.
be the dork that would actually take the coffee beans,
Yeah.
and grind them up
Right.
and put that in the mixture. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm a novice. What do you want?
Yeah.
My
Right,
hands
the-
are clean, just so
the
you know.
Dunkin'
Now that I have fondled every piece of ice. Ice right in.
Oh.
And then we're just going to stir it up. So usually I would garnish it with an orange peel. But my kids ate all the oranges, so
Fair enough.
we're going orange free today. If you really want some orange flavor, we can throw some orange bitters in.
So, Michael, you're down in Georgia, yes?
Yes.
Are you jealous yet by watching this cocktail being made? When are you going to get your butt up here?
Oh, are we splitting this?
I've got my.
Yeah, should we share it?
I can strain this.
There we are.
Excellent. Yeah. What's the next year look like for you, Michael? Are you going to be able to do some traveling back to where Joe has been released at?
Oh, we're good.
We're hoping.
Okay.
We're hoping that at some point we actually make physical contact.
I'd love to shake your hand,
Yeah, right.
and say hi.
We've got a virtual relationship.
Yes, we do. It's a long distance one at that too. Who said long distance relationships don't work?
Yeah. I'm telling you.
All right, who's up?
Oh,
All right. I'm going to steal this one.
I could smell that coffee when it from over there.
That smells absolutely amazing.
Good.
I don't smell the coffee, and I know that.
I don't smell the coffee. It smells
wait.
so good.
You kind
Yeah,
of
no, I
it
get
on
it.
the back.
Yep. It's in there. It wasn't straight away.
All right, here we go. Diving in.
I can only
Oh, boy.
imagine.
You get it on the back mostly.
That is-
The bourbon really is highlighted in it.
Yeah.
This is a fall drink.
Yes.
This is warm.
It's like the aftertaste is where the coffee and the maple comes in.
Absolutely. It is a wonderful recipe.
Thank you.
That's syrup. You like say the syrup is where it kind
Yeah.
of enhances your cocktail, and this just really enhances the experience.
Right.
Because booze is booze, but
Right.
but what can you do to make it that much better? Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
I always put so much of my flavors into the syrup itself. That's kind of where I put my creativity in.
Can you make another one? Yes, ma'am. May I have another?
Yes, yes, I can.
But we
All right.
got a few other
This is
ones
gonna
to
be
get to.
this is gonna be a long night. we got some work to do over here. Holy smokes! Oh, that's great.
Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this one.
Absolutely.
So, your recipes? Did you change bars?
Not since quarantine.
Okay.
or-
All right, I thought you changed up bars.
No, I've kind of been bouncing around. So I've been teaching cocktail classes for Detroit Golf Club.
That's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I thought I saw something.
Yeah, I've been
different.
teaching classes for their members.
Fun.
And then I've been just doing my own virtual online classes for a lot of my regulars and friends and stuff like that. So that's kept me busy.
So your cocktail class, is that for just the Detroit Golf Club members themselves, or can people sign up? Or?
No, so the ones I do there are just for the members themselves, but I do ones on the side that anyone can sign up for.
So if someone wanted to sign up for one of your personal ones, where would they find you? How can they
you can
connect?
find it on any of my social media. I mean, you guys have my information.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We usually tag you in all the
Yeah.
videos when we
Yeah.
put them up.
So anything like that.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you want to
If you want to learn.
partner with a true mixologist, I'm telling you, you would not be disappointed in any way, shape, or form.
I want to be downtown
Yes.
in a dark bar with dark wood, with cold enough to wear a jacket.
Your leather.
Not my leather.
yeah.
Cold enough to wear my leather.
Yeah.
And no snow though. And
Yeah, no snow.
I just
No snow.
keep it up in the mountains for when we want to go skiing. And drinking this.
Mm-hmm.
This is just
This sets the
it's
mood,
Where
doesn't
you
it?
where
By a fireplace?
And just all right, I'm there. Ooh, happy place.
A nice little warm sensation.
So, what's next on our hit parade?
Next is a shaken cocktail.
We're going to shake it up.
Are we doing this one in 3 glasses? Because I will just go right in 3 glasses. if
Sure.
we are.
Yeah.
I can bring another glass up.
I'm short one.
All right.
Man Cave Happy Hour always has backup glassware.
Yeah, right? we all of our glassware, it had to get taken home and washed.
Yeah,
because we used them. We abused the glasses apparently.
I think we did that during the Detroit show. Yeah.
So we're living off of plastic right now.
Yes.
All right. So I have lemon juice, which I squeezed just before I got here.
Oh, fresh squeezed lemon juice.
And I'm doing a 1/2 ounce. So however much syrup I do, I always do the same amount of citrus because then it's never too sweet and it's never too citrusy.
Okay.
It's always perfectly balanced. That's just how I work things.
So is that
Clean up my dripping.
1-on-1 ratio?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then this is a honey ginger. So I decided to change it up. Usually I do a honey turmeric. That's kind of been one of my go-tos.
One of the last times that you were in the man cave with us, you were virtual, but you actually used Earl Grey tea for one of your concoctions at one point.
Did I use Earl Grey or oolong?
It was both actually. I think no, it was oolong.
Oh yes,
but
I infused the gin with Earl Grey, but
Yeah.
I think I did an oolong. Yeah, I. It doesn't matter how hard I try to branch out of like what I do. I always pull an Asian flavor into it somewhere. It's like I can't help. I really can't. That's just a lot of my background.
But I just remember that's just stuck in the back of my brain because that concoction, the infusion that you did, was just incredible. So, like I said, if you really want to learn from a true mixologist and someone that brings her own game into the beverage world, sign up for a class.
So, what is this that you're?
So this is Chinar. It's an Italian Amaro, and it's an artichoke flavor.
Artichoke.
Yes.
Chinar.
Here, you can actually try it by itself. This is one of my favorites. I will drink this. I've put it in my coffee. I have drank it by itself. Matt, do you want to try this?
Yes, please.
It's just so good.
Yes. Actually, while I'm trying this,
Okay.
One of our friends of the man cave, Bill, Jamie, one of our friends from the man cave, Bill, he actually chimed in.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
He says, "You keep having cocktails in the Northville studios. I'm going to have to stop in pretty soon." All right. So, yeah, Bill, everyone's welcome in the man cave. It's a podcast for everybody.
455 East Katy, Northville, downtown Northville. Most absolutely welcome.
And then Peter Guidi says, "We love Tara." So, Peter, thanks for popping in and saying hi. And yes, we do love Tara.
Yes.
So, thank you.
I need that glass back, so I need you to drink that.
Oh, fine.
Oh, drink. Come on, we got drinks to pour here. What are you doing? All right, so in there you got some. What's in the?
So I did 1/2 ounce lemon juice,
Right.
1/2 ounce of the honey ginger,
Okay.
and then 1 ounce of Chinar and 1 ounce of the bourbon.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna shake it up.
Artichoke.
Pavlov's dog.
Listen to that, folks.
I love when the metal gets frosty.
Yeah,
Right.
and your hand sticks to it.
And it's like, these are a few of my favorite things.
Oh, that's got a very creamy look. It's got a creamy look towards it. Is that because of the lemon?
It's just from shaking it. Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
lemon, everything emulsifying. I feel like I'm pouring shots.
Yeah.
again.
Shot.
Yeah, right.
You
Back
gotta
to
triple.
Back to my nightclub.
You gotta
days.
triple it up, and yeah, I don't think we could do. All
No, I couldn't handle that. My liver.
You can smell
Yeah.
the fresh ingredients.
Yeah.
Yes.
That it's. I'm sitting in that bar again, having the cocktails. The fresh ingredients make all the world.
They do.
All the
a lot
world
of people.
different.
I always tell people that when I'm teaching my classes is if you were to try a cocktail that has lemon juice that you buy, like one of those little lemons at the
Yeah.
store,
Right.
and fresh, it makes such a difference.
Huge difference.
The whatever juice it is that comes in the lemon is almost too acidic, and you taste it
Yeah.
more back here.
So I could. That's when I smelled it. I was like, it's got a fresher smell to it, and it's decidedly different. It's
it is very. I can almost feel like you take a lemon peel,
Yeah.
and you kind of char it a little bit, and then you kind of rub it around the around the
Rim.
glass, around the rim.
Rim
that
the
would
glass.
just. Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's it.
Sorry, I've
getting
been drinking. What do you want?
We're getting our parts down.
I'm a novice.
Yes.
What do you want?
Oh, that's pretty. But yeah,
it's still
just,
light because we're just heading into fall, so still light, but gives you some fall flavors.
Absolutely.
And it has lemon and honey and ginger, so if you're ever sick, covered all the bases.
That ginger
Bourbon.
and the lemon, are hitting my
You
nose.
get more ginger on the nose than you do in the flavor.
To get us your recipes, and we will put them out.
Yeah, for sure.
Joe's site.
Yeah,
Fun.
I can do that
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, this is a tasty beverage.
I want to sit in the big leather chairs out there in the lobby and just sip on these, you know? These are
So I can taste this stuff.
Nothing stopping you there, Michael.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, we're open.
DTW's open. Come on down. Oh, that's pretty.
Some socially distanced.
So, yeah.
Man,
so
that is
the
really
difference,
tasty.
the first one was stirred because there was just spirits in it.
Right.
And then this one, what I've learned, because you had fruit, you had a juice, you shake those.
Yeah.
What's the theory behind the shaking? Does it...
If I was just to pour the juice right into the glass and not stir it or anything like that, it's going to be it's going to be too much citrus, too citrusy, too acidic. I mean, you will see drinks where it's not shaken, and we will swizzle it in some drinks that has citrus in it, but you're still really mixing it up in the ice. So, but if you were just pour it and stir it a couple times, it's going to be way too.
Because you end up getting layers. You'll get the booze, and you'll have the citrus on top of that. So that's why you want to shake it really.
Yeah.
Put it all together.
Yep.
Blend
Yeah.
it.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
Yay.
You never use a blender in anything you do. It's all shaking and good.
Yeah, I
good.
don't.
True bartenders don't use
I will say
a blender.
The last time I used a blender was probably like years ago in my B-dubs days.
yeah. Now I got to tell you, I got a friend who he lives and dies on his pontoon boat. So let's set the stage there. And he's a AV guy and technical guy up at Central Michigan. So you got that. But he had a blender. We were at journalism camp, and when the kids went to bed, all the instructors got together, and he had a blender with handlebars on it. So he was mixing them up. I'm like, you are the only man I know with a blender with handlebars. It had like the BMX bicycle grips on it, and it was like, and he needed it because he was working it all night. It was my favorite blender in the world. But you wouldn't use that to make one of these
I
ever.
would not.
No. All right. I'm getting giddy already. There's a girl here. We don't know what to do with ourselves. All right.
You're talking about you, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. All right. So what's the third?
I only have two. but
Oh, I
I'm
thought
okay.
you said you had three.
No, I only brought two.
Okay, one shaken, one stirred.
Yeah, one shaken, one stirred.
All right.
Fantastic.
Because we have an array of things.
I was looking.
There's all kinds of crazy.
I would do the Tara challenge and see what you
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Thank you from where you are.
competition.
So it's
What can you make?
Master,
In
yeah.
5
There was a show like that where the chef would come in to like a sorority house and he would go into the fridge with whatever kind of odds and ends they would have and create like a gourmet meal out of hamburger helper and bratwurst. You know, it's
It was dinner impossible.
yeah. Is that what it was? I think that's
that was a show where this chef would come in and he'd have this impossible challenge. Either it was dinner for 400 or it was create some.
Oh, I remember that. It was that Robert Irvine guy.
Robert Irvine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Real quick for everybody.
yeah.
I gotta say, one of the Joe Louis Bourbon folks that are on the Facebook page, Jay Baker, he
Hey,
said
Jay.
Maine is well represented.
Okay.
With Joe Louis, because with Peter and
Finally.
JJ, they've been working so hard to bring
our
Joe
Maine
Louis
people.
out. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Joe Louis were
And
liking.
the product is in Maine now. So
Yep.
The maple infused. I love the maple infused coffee beans.
The coffee
I'm
idea,
gonna-
that was
yeah.
just a great idea. So, and
gonna
then
get
then
in
Jay chimed in again, looking forward to the Maple Joe. So thank you guys for chiming in. Appreciate that.
Right. Michael, we could talk about that after we make one. Well, Michael, tell us a little bit about that. Where are we standing with that next expression, that maple, right?
Brown Bomber,
I
right?
just got out of a meeting about 10 minutes before I jumped into this fiasco.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
So I don't have a hard timeline, but in what is today's date? In about a week and a half, we're going to meet at the distillery and that's what I was mentioning. We're going to do some tastings and some options of some of the variations and make some decisions on that. And in terms of, it's probably going to be it'll be after the first of the year, when it releases. And I don't have the release plan yet, but it's happening, and the creative is happening, and part of it's also based on when enough of the on-premise market opens up in markets too.
Right.
So what's the mash bill? What's the premise on that again?
On the Brown Bomber?
I can tell you generally.
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
But it's not. We haven't settled on the final mash bill.
Sure.
But
Okay.
It will be a bourbon base, and it's about I want to say it's about a 15% pure maple syrup with bourbon.
Okay.
And the bourbon has been aged, but then it is additionally aged with some additional oak when it has the maple in it. So that adds a little bit, and we're just kind of playing with some variations on that, and what the finish will be, and also whether we were looking at options for everything from cinnamon to coffee, and just for a little bit of a touch. It won't be overpowering at all.
Nice.
So we're going to be playing with some of those combinations. But quite frankly, the maple bourbon itself does exist, and we've tasted it, and that was what the decision was made. And now we've just been thinking, can we do something more that make it even more unique?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I always like new expressions.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was pure maple, not Miss Buttersworth.
Yeah.
What's cool about it, and you guys have seen this a little bit, and you haven't seen the finish, but the brand is going to be. It's the first brand extension, but it's going to be a different aspect of Joe Louis. It's going to be about Joe Louis and the Harlem Renaissance period, and kind of the debonair man on the town, and celebrating, jazz and bourbon and nightlife, and that's going to tie in with our music, plans that we have. You've met, the
with
other
Joe
Granston.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's all going to be, it'll all be coming together first quarter.
I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what are we challenging here? Are we challenging
I
Tara?
already got it.
Here we go.
She
It only
saw it.
took me-
She's going.
yeah.
All right.
It took me a second to
All right. So what are we thinking
get
about?
it together. All right. So we're gonna do stirred again. We're gonna do stirred.
Stir.
Stirred.
Melena's here.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right, so we are going to do bitters. Again, I'm going to do my usual extra bitters because I like extra bitters. And then we're going to do a mix of the Chinar that I just did.
Right.
So I'm going to do a half ounce. It's
like artichoke. It's crazy.
and it goes with everything. That's the thing. It goes with everything. Like I said, I put it in my coffee.
What's the alcohol content in this thing? 16. Okay, 16%. So it's a liqueur.
And then a sweet vermouth. So it's going to kind of be like a Manhattan variation.
All right. Well, let me get a couple fresh glasses and then some Joe bourbon.
Oh, what'd I miss?
So we have bitters and then Chinar and sweet vermouth.
Okay, so this is a little bit different from what we did before.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do the sweet vermouth before, did we not?
No, we're adding it. This was the third cocktail I just pulled off you guys.
Well, that's what it's there for. So.
That's it.
Hence the Manhattan.
Yes.
And then
I'm excited. That's our bar cart's getting professional handling.
Right?
It kind of is.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right. Ice right. And
Except you're never going to find anything after she's going to have it all organized.
Yeah. Right. Who organized my stuff? I don't know where anything is.
Wait, it was right in front here before.
All right, so this is another stirred cocktail.
yep, another boozy one.
Yeah, you said boozy one. Okay.
Spirit forward.
Spirit forward. Even better.
The best bourbon cocktails are all boozy. They are.
Awesome.
I like the boozy cocktail.
I just like the sound of the cocktail being made. That's one of my favorite sounds in the world is that stirring or that shaking feel.
Yeah.
Just a great sound. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Yay.
Here we go. All right. So so this is going to be a bit different from the first one that we had. What should we expect that's different in this one?
A little bit sweeter, boozy.
Okay.
You're going to have the artichoke and the sweet vermouth, and then the sweetness from the bourbon.
Okay. Well, here we go. Ooh, yum.
It's bitter and sweet.
It's so yum.
It is, yeah. And going that little heavier on the
You
bitters.
get the bitter on the back, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I'm going to try that at home. I'm going to do a side by side.
It just rounds everything out. If you have a cocktail and it's too sweet, I always add bitters.
Because I'm like, well, okay, I make these cocktails at home, and they're never quite like
on my level.
when,
No, I'm just kidding.
right. No, absolutely. It's,
I'm just kidding.
She just
no,
called
it's
you
never
out.
quite like when I'm at a really nice bar getting
Right.
a really crafted cocktail.
Well,
And
that
I'm
Tara
like,
does, yeah.
I bought the damn right crap, I swear,
You know what?
And,
It's all in how you build it.
It's like,
It really comes
I
down.
got syrup, and she's not wearing a dress. Okay, I bought the good stuff. It's not in a bottle with a person's face at the top. No. So
There's also so much you can do with different bitters now because you've got such a wide range.
Yeah.
Of, the ginger and lemon and hibiscus and
There's
an
so
Earl Grey
many
bitter.
bitters.
Yeah.
So many. I was making the majority of the bitters I had at the library. I was making my own, but it's time consuming. I guess
The library was the establishment that you were at.
that it came from prior to COVID.
Prior to COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I actually just bought my first bottle of bitters.
What kind did you buy?
I can't remember. I think it was the orange bitters, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I actually got a thing of the simple syrup as well. So
Okay.
I'm starting to really dab very
Syrup
slowly.
is easy to make.
Yeah, very slowly. Because if I start getting good at it, look
Then
out,
you gotta-
world.
Yeah, right.
you got a random-
career switch.
You got a random jar in the fridge, and your wife's like, "What's this stuff?"
I can't drink this. I know. I can.
So I can say whatever. She never listens, so it's safe. All right, so I think that's it, Michael.
Yeah.
The Making of Champions podcast.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Making of
Coming up
Champions.
coming up this week on Thursday
Mm-hmm.
is the woman who's the producer of the TV show Boxing Moms,
Oh, great.
Michelle Rosado. And so she's an interesting character and has been around boxing in a different way for a long time. And a couple of months back, excuse me, we
patient
had
zero.
a boxer on who mentioned that his goal was to get his mom on Boxing Moms. So we're going to see if we can make that happen
Oh, all right.
on this
Excellent.
Thursday's episode.
And folks can actually see that, right? Live on your Facebook page at 5 o'clock on Thursdays.
Yep, and then look for
5
the audio
o'clock on
podcast, and then
Thursdays. Absolutely.
hosted by Tanya Cole,
And on
who
that
is
podcast, that's right.
a boxing and bourbon enthusiast, and then Marquise John, who's a boxing journalist.
Yes.
And if you're into sports, another great sports podcast is Detroit, City of Champions.
Yes.
It's all about the 1935 year in Detroit
Yes.
when the Lions, Tigers, and Red Wings all won their first championships.
And about 30
others,
30 others, same thing.
So-
But, everything you can see on the Podcast Detroit Facebook pages. You'll be able to see the Making of Champions podcast on
Yes.
the Podcast Detroit Facebook page as well. So, just a great partnership that we have with the Joe Louis Bourbon folks. So, Michael, Peter, JJ, guys, thank you, for your partnership.
And that'll wrap it up. We're going to finish these lovely cocktails and call it a day.
Cheers.
Ladies, gentlemen.
Yeah, ladies, gentlemen, thank you.
Cheers.
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 Oh.
Got it.